All right, everybody. We're going to try this. We're trying this. I know. Everybody's wondering, what the hell is he doing? Ladies and gentlemen, it is the mighty Psycho from Psycho's Platters, aka Paul, always powered by coffee each and every time. This basically is a test stream, yet we're running this live. Okay, so um, thing is that I want to go off and tell everybody that the reason for the show here is called Knights of the Round Turntable. That's right. Knights of the Round Turntable, where all here are unstable. And so I kind of brought back up about a few days back the story, sort of how this all got started. But let me just paint a little bit more of a picture here, shall we? Um, but you'll have to forgive me. Like I said, I'm still doing something new on all of this here. So hopefully everything will come along the way I want it to. So the how you doing? Yeah, he's just waltzing in here. So Knights of the Round Turntable started about 2014. That was the original concept for for the show, and we actually ran with. We ended up getting a teaser spot and two episodes that got posted on a YouTube channel called Knights Talk, which trying to find that is a little hard on YouTube. If anybody is into wanting to see those said videos, though, on Facebook, I have the Knights of the Round Turntable on Facebook, where you can gladly take a look and go through that. But we ended up doing a teaser video. We ended up doing a first video called Firsts, and then of course we ended up doing a second video that I think we called it Seconds or something like that. So that's what we originally started with. Now, ever since 2014, what happened after that was we ended up doing a third episode, which was a two-parter. Okay, and I've had some comments already because I've reshown the videos on my Knights of the Turntable, Round Turntable, and on my own channel. And some people, of course, were commenting that it was a little noisy. Well, yeah, back when we started doing this stuff, we really weren't exactly thinking entirely of the noise factor. We had it at a local coffee shop here in Northwest Arkansas, and I mean, where we were at, it was comfortable, and it was just nice. The three, it was our three hosts, me and Doug and Grant. Okay, and Doug was the guy that I brought up that was about a few years ahead of me in the experience of record collecting. And Grant was this awesome dude that he worked at that time at a vintage stock and could go off and have access to newer music. And I wanted to color the broadcasts a little bit more with the newer music and the classic music and all the other stuff. And so basically, that was what the whole idea was. Unfortunately, like life can be like sometimes, life got in the way. And after the third episode of the two-part, which by the way was on jazz, I dabble in jazz. I do like some of it. My first turn on into jazz, so to speak, was Stan Getz. I tripped on a wonderful, it was a 1982 Japanese import, though, really nice, minty, never been played, with the Japanese inserts in the poly sleeves, and I found that thing for 99 cents, and that sucker just is wonderful. It was in beautiful shape, and it sounded great. It was if I remember correctly, the 1964 Gil, Gets Gilberto. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gets Gilberto album, and that just blew my mind. That totally blew my mind to no end. Um, Thing. So let's see here. All right. So, anywho, anybody wants to play along, I just dropped the link. So, I know I'm a little long winded. The goal of these shows, I'm going to try to do this on Monday nights. The idea, hopefully, is 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. And roughly about 2 hours because several different reasons. Monday is always one of my days off, and Sundays I visit all the other shows I do. I would like to honestly say that the inspiration for my wanting to do one of these is, of course, from watching Rachel and the Music Man and Me, Mr. Mayo, and Macamania and Vinyl Archivist. Can't talk today. Still working on. This is my first cup of coffee, by the way. Yeah, I'm running a little behind. So, but basically, that was the reason why we, I felt that I'd like to just do this on a weekly thing. And then, of course, chime in on all the other channels because I just have such fun being able to either sit there and comment or get on screen and interact. And I just enjoy it. I enjoy it immensely. Okay. So, like I said, so we do the 2-part jazz episode, and then everything fell apart. Okay, I don't really have a very good reasoning as to why that one never came out. I mean, yes, the sound issues were a little bit, and I know it was mildly frustrating. And the thing is that we tried to keep it regular. We tried to go off and do it at a nice clip. But like we said, life got in the way. Okay. And so Grant had to bow out, and that was understandable. And then I think Doug and I were talking about, trying to get the third person in, which, we were debating. I had a couple cool people, and then the one I talked about, I'll mention his first name if you saw my previous test stream. The DJ's name was Donnie. Okay, I'm not going to say any more than that. Donnie was the one that passed away in November 2018, and I think we would have made a great 3-host show. And we're all are pretty much similar in ages, give or take a couple of years, and we like all kinds of music. Just like I'm so impressed with the people here on YouTube, and the bass musical spectrum that I happen to see from a lot of people here in the VC. It just amazes me to no end on that. So the reason why I came up with Knights of the Round Turntable was because I'm not going to lie. One day I was watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and I was watching that, and of course the Camelot scene came on, which is like my favorite in that Monty Python movie. And of course, they sing "We're the Knights of the Round Table," and I'm just sitting here and I'm going, "Huh?" I'm like, I wouldn't mind going off and getting a group called Knights of the Round Turntable. And back in 2014, there wasn't a group called that. That's why, at that time anyway, I was trying to be original and trying to do it that way. But so yeah, Knights of the Round Turntable, we're all here are unstable. So I went off, I wrote up some things. Maybe I figure, hey, let's talk a little bit. Okay, let's talk a little bit. I hate to say this, I could give two shits about the Grammy Awards. I don't think I've watched a Grammy Awards. Jeez, the last time I might have watched one was when Kiss showed up and Tupac was at the mic. That might have been one of the last ones I watched. But over at the Grammy Awards last night to announce best album of the year, Ringo showed up. Yes, Ringo showed up, and you know what? That I thought was pretty cool that he showed up. Um, and I don't know. Yeah, I'll admit he seemed a little out of place, but that's because, well, compared to today's music, but so what? Just nice to see him. And the one guy there was going like this, and Ringo still looks damn good for almost 81 years old, It's like, shit, if I live to be 81, I hope I can look half that good. I don't know. So, but of course, that new EP's coming out. Zoom In, okay, that's coming out. And, so Paul's on it. Dave Grohl's on it from Foo Fighters. Robbie Krieger from The Doors. He plays guitar on a track. It's a 5-track EP. That's coming out here very, very soon. I've seen it for CDs, roughly around $11. Vinyl, the cheapest I could see is $15.99. Also, though, while I was looking at that, I tripped on that there is available a limited 180-gram yellow vinyl edition of the 1992 album Time Takes Time, which that album, to me, in my opinion, is underrated. Weight of the World, of course, was the big single off of that, but I mean, you had a lot of excellent musicians that came out of that bit. But the thing is that Ringo albums, you know what you're getting when you buy a Ringo album. And what that is pretty much is overall fun and entertaining. It's not necessarily rocket science when you're getting a Ringo album. That's not a slam, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I pretty much overall, on any Ringo album, I'm probably guaranteed to enjoy at least 50% of the material. That's just me on that one. Hang on one second. I'm going to go get some more coffee. Then we'll talk about the next thing we're going to talk about, which that came out already in the US, but there is a delay in the UK. And that happens to be the 3 CD box set from Bob Dylan. It's archival stuff, of course, from Sony. It's called 1970. All right, it's a 3 CD set that came out February 26th here in the States. Got delayed to March 19th in the UK. So why am I bringing up Dylan? Well, I like Bob Dylan, okay, and I do like some of this archival release stuff that they've gone off and done, but CD2, okay, so the whole second CD of the 3 CDs, all right, May 1st, 1970, that's what that second CD is. It's sessions with Bob Dylan, George Harrison, and Charlie Daniels on bass. And I'm telling you, I think it's going to be pretty damn cool. I've got that sucker on an order status. I don't know when that'll come in for me. Things seem to be getting I don't know about you guys in the VC, but things sure seem to be getting a little delayed at least on the United States side of the fence here. Ever since the holidays, it seems like the mail has been majorly backed up in everybody's orders. I just got done watching Andrew Dixon's live stream, okay, and even he was commenting about how the demand on the vinyl pressing plants. There's just a lot of factors going on in regards to the delay of stuff. All right, so the Dylan 70's out, okay, and $16.79 so far is the cheapest price, Amazon and Target. All right, so I know I sound like little commercials. I'm just trying to inform you guys, All right. Let's shift off of there for a second. Let's go Alice Cooper. All right. I don't know how you feel about Alice Cooper. I like Alice Cooper. I've liked Alice Cooper for, good God, decades. I remember I was like this 8-year-old and I watched Welcome to My Nightmare. Yeah, I remember watching that. I like Alice. Alice, of course, he was always great with the Alice Cooper group. All right, which broke up in '75. But I like his solo stuff too. Okay, um, I've got almost uh, all the Alice Cooper discography. The only ones that I'm missing are the first two albums of the group that were on Straight. All right, Pretty's for You and Easy Action. I'd like to get a hold of some OG copies of that. And the 1983 album Dada. If you've never heard the 1983 album Dada, go listen to it on YouTube because I know you Alice Cooper fans are going to go, well, I know this story, but some of you people maybe don't know the story. So this is why I'm bringing it up. And this was not revealed at the time. Okay, this was way later in one of Alice Cooper's books. I mean, I always knew he was an alcoholic. Okay, we all pretty much knew that. That 1978 album From the Inside was supposed to be experiences and people he met while he was trying out in a sanitarium like clinic place. I'm just like, ooh. But that's a good album too. Well, supposedly, 1980, 81 roughly, he gets addicted to crack cocaine. I didn't know it was around that early, to tell you the honest truth. I thought that was a couple of years later, but I don't do drugs, so you got me on this. But so the thing is that Alice ended up doing what some people call the unholy trilogy, which which would be Special Forces, Zipper Catches Skin, and Dada. Okay. Now, I like some of the stuff on Special Forces. Mike Panera as his guitarist on that one. Okay. He also has works with Steve Hunter and a few other ones. But the thing is that he does not remember recording anything on those three albums. It is like a blackout. That's what he said. And I'm just like, wow, that big chunk, the 3 years, 3.5 years, you don't remember recording this stuff, but it came out. And Warner, I guess they had enough of him in '83, and he went and took a break, took a sabbatical, and by the time he came back in the mid '80s, he started getting his swing on. Tell you the truth, out of all honesty, I think, well, since about Last Temptation, late '90s, I've loved just about every album he's put out ever since then. It's like he's gotten his second or third wind, okay? And so basically, his 21st solo album has come out, of course, Detroit Stories, came out February 26th. It's high on the Billboard charts. Bob Ezrin produces this again. And some of the guests that he happened to have, of course, speaking of the original Alice Cooper band, they're back for a couple songs. Johnny B. Bandachek, who was in Mitch Ryer, the Detroit Wheels. Wayne Kramer from MC5. Joe Bonamassa shows up, plays guitar on 2 tracks. Mark Farner from Grand Funk, he's on there. Steve Hunter, one of Alice's cohorts, of course. And drumming on 1 track from U2, Larry Mullen Jr. Yeah, they're all on this one. That's on my ordering too, so we'll be talking about that real soon in a future album review. I appreciate the 3 people that are watching here. Maybe, I hopefully you guys can hear me. That is the thing here. Like I said, you'll have to forgive me. This is the first StreamYard thing I'm doing here, so I figure if there's anything you guys can't see, hear, or figure out, or whatever, or say, hey, I'm a jackass. Leave it in the comments, guys. Leave it in the comments. So the thing is that so we got that Cheap Trick's coming out with a new album. I've had several people go off and ask me, "Hey, are you going to go off and review the new Cheap Trick?" First new studio album since 2017 coming out called In Another World. Really don't exactly care for the cover very much, but I don't care because I mean the music's more important, right? But it would be nice to have a attractive package, so to speak. I said package, but that one comes out April 9th. First single's already out on that. I like that. Target is going to do a limited edition picture disc for that album too. So Cheap Trick. I have liked Cheap Trick. Jeez, man. Probably since I can't say that I they were on my radar the first album right away. I want to say it was either In Color or Budokan. That was when they landed in my radar, and I really fell in love with their music. I still say that my favorite is Dream Police. That whole album I really really like. Um, but I followed them all the way. I think I bought every album that ever came out from that band except one. For some reason, I'm having a hard time finding the latest. That would happen to be the last studio album that Bunny's on. Uh, and I know it's none of my business, guys, but I really wish I knew what was going down as to why Bunny got real. Well, how should I say this? Because he's still a member of the business, but not the drummer of Trick. And I just wonder what it was all about. I know, none of my business, but I'm just saying. So, all right, so those are all stuff that's coming out. Going to end up reviewing those as well. I do have I do have a review episode coming out soon. Okay, because I just got the package. I got a nice CD review care package from Matthew Street. That's right. He is such an awesome person out there in Boston. And so he gave me to review, courtesy of Gem Imports, Midnight Callers. Hi, Nathan. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. So Midnight Callers, okay, and Red Letter Glow. And I'm telling you, I really have dug so far the two songs that I've gone at. 41 Miles to Roscoe, okay, is the single that pretty much got popped on that. Um, Underground Garage, Stephen Van Zant's show, okay. He went off and made this one of his tunes of the week, and so it's worth it. It's really worth it so far. But I'm going to be doing a full review episode coming up. Um, she's hopefully by the end of the week. Okay, I've got that. I've got some. I've got some. Yeah, I got some Beatle finds. We're going to talk about some Beatle finds. Boy, did I! And I showed some of them already previously in some streams, but I'm going to collate them all together. But I thought that I would go off, so I wouldn't keep you guys too bored. I try not around here. I believe in educating and entertaining. That's the main thing. So when I went to Goodwill and I showed some of my Goodwill vinyl finds, okay, I always look through the CD racks, okay. I'm not just all vinyl, all right. I've been a CD collector probably almost since the damn things first came out. So what, 30 years? CDs are a lot cheaper than vinyl. I'm always going to love my vinyl. I've got my vinyl. I rotate and turn, and trade and sell, and I try to keep my collection fresh, sort of. With CDs, I do the same thing. So last week, I think it was last week, me and Donna Joe Cat Lady, we ended up going. She's such a dear friend of mine. She'll probably be on these things from time to time too. But I ended up finding some still sealed 90s, mid 90s Kiss CDs. That's right. Carnival of Souls, the final sessions. Now, here's the front, here's the back. The only thing is that there is a slight drill hole, and it doesn't go through the whole damn thing. It's just one little piece of the corner. Now, I'd buy more cheap CDs if I had a CD player that worked. Well, I don't have any room for more CDs. Nathan, I hear you on that. I really, really do. Right now, I've got about 3 milk crates. That's about my CD collection, okay? I used to have a hell of a lot more. Oh my God. I could fill a mini closet originally with all the CDs I had. I just got to pick and choose, you know? So I don't know if any of you guys are Kiss fans out there. Okay, I've been one almost since the beginning. I want to say that it either, and I'm being whole serious about this. I said whole. I'm going to be 54 this year, okay, in September. But I remember seeing Kiss. It was either on the Mike Douglas show or on the Paul Lynde Halloween special. It was one of those two was the first time I saw them. And I was hooked. I was hooked. I know that was bad. I was hooked. And I will say this probably till the day I die. Yes, I love Kiss. I still love Kiss, even though the marketing sometimes gets oversaturated at times, and Gene's gotta open his mouth. Paul's gotta open his mouth. All of them open their mouths, you know. It just seems like to me they do put on a good show, okay, but I think it's by the numbers. That's really, really what it is. They haven't put out a new album since 2012. Now I know, you know, maybe for some people that love their favorite bands, they don't want new music. I don't know. I hadn't seen Nathan. I have several boxes full in my garage. My music room is 90% full of vinyl. Yeah, Nathan, my old record room was like that too. I miss it. So with this album, though, with Carnival of Souls, which of course was Gene, Paul, Eric Singer on drums, and Bruce Kulick, okay, they attempted to go with the flavor of the day, which was alternative. The one song that got airplay, and I remember it was Jungle. Jungle got played, and I'm not going to lie to you, I don't recall any other Kiss song off of this on the radio. I like Jungle. Jungle sounded real good to me, I thought. It was different, but it was really, really weird because they kind of sort of sped rushed this out. There was supposedly half the rumors was because somehow some of the tapes ended up getting bootlegged, mixed with because the reunion tour was already going to happen with the original lineup. They wanted just to push the product out to kill the bootlegger sales. I don't know. Point is, I got it still sealed. And then this next one here, another bone of contention. I got a still sealed Psycho Circus. Yes, but I love the sticker here. It says this is an enhanced CD with Psycho Circus screensaver and Kiss Online, the new internet service provider. Remember, kids, this is 1998. 98 internet. What do you got here, Matthew? Matthew says, pretty sure Jungle was the only. Yeah, I like the album, but it's not very original. You're right. You are absolutely right on that. It wasn't. In fact, to tell you the God's honest truth, I would rather have Revenge if I was going to go that route because, well, even with that, they were trying to do something different too, and Vinnie Vincent co-wrote some of the songs too, and you could say good or bad about Vinnie Vincent, but he did happen to have some flair for writing tunes, and he could figure it out. But I don't know about him now. Oh boy, I've seen some recent videos, and I've heard rumors that he already canceled a couple gigs, the last couple gigs actually. And I don't want to say he's back in hiding. I don't want to start shit, but it seems like he's taken a couple steps back now. Okay. I really wish that if he does have the chops, either put out some archival stuff, because I don't know if any of you guys that are Kiss fans or Vinnie Vincent Invasion fans know about the box set scenario from 1996. There were charges filed for mail fraud. There was a whole bunch of other things. It kept getting delayed, and he took pre-orders. He took pre-orders, and if I remember correctly, it was $100 back then. So $100 in 1996 money, well, it wasn't cheap. I remember seeing that ad in Goldmine magazine, and I'm like, dude, I like you as a guitar player. I loved his contributions on Creatures of the Night. I loved Lick It Up. Um, I do think he was a bit of a diva, but I also think that Paul and Gene were kind of just sick and tired of anybody trying to steal their thunder. You know what I'm saying on that? It was like the minute that Peter and Ace quit originally, they figured it was the Gene and Paul show. Now, I'm not trying to speak out of turn here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hello there, Ralstonian Report. How are we doing today? You know what? I am all right. I'm all right, but I'm not going to lie here, guys. That daylight savings thing yesterday threw me off. My sleep cycle's still screwed up. I don't know. So listen, let's see. Let's try to do this here. Anybody care? Let's try this. Anybody that's bored? Let's see. Matthew, what you got? I can't remember now, but wasn't Vinny's box set cassette? Yeah, that's right. It was cassette only, Matthew. The thing, and of course, because the CD stuff was, I don't want to say, I mean, obviously CDs were out, but according to the stories that I heard, he started this project a few years before 96, and he primed it as a cassette relation, which I guess you can't blame him at that time anyway, but I'm like, just put the damn product out, okay? I mean, I would rather have physical media. That's just me, and that's probably most of you guys out there. But if you're not going to do that, put it on some streaming service or some shit. And I know that Spotify really rips off people, okay? Don't do it that way then. Go off and put it on your own website and charge what's realistic. Okay, realistic. So yeah, so this whole 90 that's so the Kiss World thing here. Now I don't know if I can read this shit, but there's a special offer inside. Oh boy. See the teeny special offer inside. It expires December 1st, 1998. Oh, okay. So you'd call 1-900 call Kiss. Don't do it now. It's probably not there anymore. and you'd be entered into a contest. Of course, it doesn't really damn say what the offer is. It just says to enter the sweepstakes. So I guess there was a sweepstakes in '98 anyway. Ralstonian, I've heard of Tidal. I just haven't caroused around very much. Let me say one last thing, and then I want to talk about streaming for a second, if that's all right with you guys. I know I'm trying to keep focused, but I get all over the place. It's probably my adult ADD, ADHD, but I don't give a shit. So Psycho Circus, all right. I was so psyched up for this album. See what I did there? I was so psyched up for this in '98, all right, because they kept hyping the 4 original members' first studio album in almost 20 years. Because let's face it, Dynasty in '79, you got one track, Dirty Livin'. That's it. So the last time that you had all 4 original Kiss members if I remember correctly, is Rocket Ride on Alive 2 on the studio side. So really, it was a very long time for these four guys. So when this came out, and of course, Psycho Circus was the big single, and the video was cool. And I don't know, they kept trying to do the 3D thing, okay? And I watched on Fox. I think they showed. I don't know if it was a whole Kiss concert, but it showed the circus elements, okay, and the stunt cyclist and the big metal ball, and there was all kinds of weird shit in the 3D videos and popping out. And I said to myself, God, this is going to be cool. This is going to be damn cool. That only lasted 10 tour dates because I'm told the budget was so ridiculous that they didn't even bother, okay, with the rest, except for the 3D glasses. Everybody that went in on this tour got a set of the 3D glasses as they were walking in the door. Now, I lived in Chicagoland, like I said, back in 98. I went to Rockford, Illinois, Rockford Metro Center, which is a 10,000 seat concrete box. The sound's okay there. It ain't great, but it did its purpose. The opening act for this was Econoline Crush, which were based out of Canada. Never heard of them before. And I'm going to tell you, it didn't really do anything for me. Get this, though. The next tour date, they were going to go to Madison, Wisconsin, literally the next night. You know who was the opening band for the next part of that tour? Collective Soul. I would have rather have seen Collective Soul open for Kiss than Econoline. They just didn't do anything for me. So the 3D glasses thing came out, and you know what? They would tell you. Paul would be like, "All right, now put on those 3D glasses, put them on, because here it comes." And so I know that was a shitty impression. So we would, and I remember that they did, of course, first they showed the Psycho Circus. They play it, but show the videos. So they had the Psycho Circus video. They had Into the Void, I remember, which to me is the coolest damn song on that album. I like Psycho Circus and I like Into the Void. I think those are my two favorites on there. And of course, I don't know, some of the other ones. I mean, yeah, I do like You Wanted the Best. Peter Gets His Ballad. I finally found my way. But after finding out how many studio people were on this thing, besides the four, okay, and as soon as I read the credits, I'm like, ah, crap. So there was already a little bit of, I mean, I hate to say this, and Kiss isn't the only one to do it, but Kiss, even going back to 79, they were hiding shit all the time, it seemed like, to keep the image going. How much of it was the band's fault? How much of it was Casablanca Records? How much of it was Bill Aucoin and the people behind that? It was probably a combination of everybody. But by 98, and they knew they had a good thing going, but they supposedly said Ace and Peter weren't musically up to par. So you had people like Kevin Valentine and Bruce Kulick came back, and Tommy. I don't know if Tommy plays on here, Tommy Dare. I don't think so. He might. I don't know. But I don't know. So I was so excited for this album, and then felt let down. And of course, this would be the last studio album with these guys. You know, and then there wouldn't be anything until till Sonic Boom. So that's what I found on that bit. Okay. You want to see some vinyl? You want to see some vinyl that I pulled out of stuff? Hang on a second. I'm gonna get some more coffee. I'll be right back. I drink about a pot a day on average, guys, when I'm feeling good. This is just stuff that's random. Okay, this is random stuff. Remember, kids, I would like some people. Anybody that's bored, will try this. I love interaction. Okay, I do love interaction. Okay, so what do we got? What did Paul get from the vinyl? How about an original first press of REO Speedwagon? Yeah, yeah. You're talking here 1971, 72. Oh, man. You know, okay. I don't know how you guys feel about REO. I don't know. But this is the only album, of course, that has Terry Luttrell. And Terry Luttrell, I thought Terry Luttrell did a good job. I really think so on this album, all right? REO Speedwagon, of course, from from the central going on almost southern Illinois part, Champaign, Urbana, Rantoul, that type of area, okay? And Terry Luttrell was the original lead singer for this. And after this album, he ends up getting released. Kevin Cronin comes on in for a spell, a very short spell for REO2, and then it goes to Michael Murphy, and then back to Kevin for all these years. I really kind of like this. Okay, I really do. I just from what I heard, supposedly Terry went off and said that he wrote or co-wrote, excuse me, one or two songs on REO2, and if I remember right, he said he had a hand in the beginning writing of "In Golden Country," which I love that song. If you don't know that song, that's okay. Just go listen to that. This is the one, though, of course, that's got 157 Riverside Avenue. All right, REO, you can't fight this feeling anymore. Go listen to it. See what I did there? Oh, that was horrible. But um, I know they're pretty smarmy now. Uh, I got to see REO play once. All right, this story goes back to about 10 years ago, and I work for Walmart. Okay, that's not really a secret. But back in the day, though, they would have these concerts, these free concerts, and all you really had to do back then was show your badge, or show your card, and then you could go on in. So me and my girlfriend at the time, who I'd end up married to later, it was REO Speedwagon and Bare Naked Ladies. Okay, so what a show! What a show! The thing is, in my opinion, they screwed up the lineup because this is how they did it. I honestly thought, okay, Bare Naked Ladies is going to go off and be the opener. REO will be the closer. That is not what happened. REO was the opener, and Bare Naked was the closer. Now, Jessica, okay, that was her name. She could have cared two shits about REO Speedwagon. I was there to see REO. She was there to see Bare Naked Ladies. And I liked a little bit of Bare Naked Ladies stuff. I wasn't knocking them. But because, okay, so the opening act usually only does 30 to 45 minutes. That was it. You still got some hits, and then they left the stage. And guess what happened? 75% of the audience left after REO opened. So you had 25% of people in the building. It was down in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and they stuck around for Bare Naked, and they put on a good show. But I think I could tell that Bare Naked, as soon as they went out there, they're like, "Uh-oh, where the hell's the people?" So REO. Now I did say before, and I'll say it again, I'm originally from Chicagoland, and I appreciate all the area bands that came out, from the 50s to, well, even now. I don't know too much about, Chicago area bands from now, but this one was a very cool album. Unfortunately, it's got slight bit of water damage in the corner, but I have never come across another copy of this from 1968. The Mods Hold On. Telling you, some really good stuff here. Okay, Jimmy Rogers and company ended up putting out a really good one here. This is on Mercury. Needs a little cleaning. Of course, it's a Dunwich production. Whenever there was anything Dunwich, Dunwich was originally Shadows at Night, but anything they'd touch would usually be pretty damn good, from 65 to 70 roughly. So go listen to some of this on YouTube, but I have a feeling here that you may want to try to find one of these. If I remember correctly, it's not on It's not on CD, if I remember right. And this was the only album the Mods put out. They did put out a handful more 45s for Mercury and RCA, but they never did another thing since. Now, another one that I really, really dig, and I've liked these guys. Damn, I mean, okay, the first time I ever saw these guys, yeah, was MTV. All right, but they did play one of their concerts on MTV. It was a little older one though. It was from the late '70s. The Tubes. I love the Tubes. This is where you start getting more polished, though. Okay, the completion backwards principle. I like the whole idea that the Tubes, who of course were based out of Arizona, the Tubes like to make fun of shit. They do, and they do parodies and things, of course. Um, but but this was the album that I remember seeing on MTV. I love Talk to You Later, and I don't want to wait anymore. I thought the whole band was pretty damn good. They were very talented musicians. Fee Waybill, of course, being the guy who's out front as Quaalude in those '70s ones with the big ass heels. And what the song that I always crank up is White Punks on Dope. I love White Punks on Dope. Um, I just do. There's other ones too, but I mean, She's a Beauty is the one that seems to get played on the radio all the time when you do hear it. And I'm like, it's just like anything else in radio. Yeah, let's stick to one or two songs that we all know, and we're not going to give a shit about the rest of the discography. We're just going to overplay. I don't know. It's just me. Anybody want to chime in? Go ahead. Tubes are still going, by the way. I keep hearing a weird rumor that there might be a new album they're working on. We could sure hear some good, new music in 2021 from some of these bands. Another one that's on my order list, just quickly, the Blue Oyster Cult, The Symbol Remains. Go check that out. There's a few very cool tunes off of there, and Albert Bouchard comes back in the first video to do a cowbell part. Yeah, you heard me. I thought that was cool. On Mercury from the '70s, a little bit underrated. Hard Rock Legs Diamond. Yes, yes, yes. For some reason, some of these albums are a little harder to find. Yeah, on good old '70s Mercury. Okay, let's see. Here's one I found for quarter at a book sale many, many moons ago at a library from the mid 1970s on Manicore, which, if I remember correctly, was ELP's label at one point. The Image. Yes, Mike Panera and his trio. All right. Very, very nice. It is a cutout, though, but really, really sweet. Here's your very cool inner, and very, very nice, nevertheless. So The Image. I think Panera, to tell you the honest truth, he's very underrated as a guitar player. Okay, he's still out and about. If I remember correctly, he reactivated Blues Image. He reactivated Blues Image. He tried to do something with Iron Butterfly. I know Iron Butterfly's act too, to a smaller degree, but if I remember correctly, it's Ron Bushy Jr. That's the one that's running the show there. But Panera was working with them for a little while. This gentleman had a birthday not too long ago. Robin Trower, from Earth Below. Of course, I like Bridge of Sighs, but I really dig this one too. I remember shortly before the COVID nonsense started that Trower was going to do a tour, not exactly near me. It would have been about 2 hours away. I was going to go, though, that's for sure. I think Trower is an excellent guitarist. He still is. How about some Twister? Is that a Twisted Sister pin on your uniform? Oh, boy. But original. I've got the first one from Secret Records in '82. and of course with the lyric sleeve and your picture here. I know that they were not happy with the production of this album, and they ended up re-recording it, so to speak. But like I said, I think those first couple albums were good. I really, really do, as far as for Twisted Sister's concerned. All right, next, a nice mono copy of Stones Between the Buttons. Yes, yes, yes. It is a little slightly worse for wear, but the point of the matter is that I've got this sucker. Is really, really nice, at least in my opinion, anyway. Very, very sweet. All right. So, okay, I talked about Ringo earlier, all right? My favorite Ringo album, and probably a lot of Ringo fans' favorite album from 1973, Ringo, yes. I mean, look at all that cast of characters there. All the rest of the Beatles and friends are there. And, of course, it comes with the booklet. Here's some for you. Okay. And I really dug this album very early on. So many people came and chimed in on this album. It was wonderful. All the other three Beatles, of course, show up on there. I'm the Greatest was the hit, one of the nice hits anyway, even though it should have been put out as a single. I don't care. Of course, You're 16, Oh My, Photograph, all good stuff. Here's a little story, though. Whether it's true or not, I do not know. But as, of course, we know that John Lennon couldn't really leave the United States because of visa problems and the problems with the government. Paul McCartney couldn't come to the States in 1973 at that time due to his drug convictions in the UK. Well, supposedly the story actually went that if Paul did not have those restrictions, Paul was going to actually be on I'm the Greatest instead of Claus Borman. So, yeah, you would have had a Beatles reunion, at least on one track. But instead, Paul showed up on 6 o'clock and a couple other things, too. And, of course, members of the band, T-Rex, some members of Badfinger, Nicky Hopkins, just a whole bunch of fun. It's a damn good, fun album. Really, really is. And I have liked that one for a very long time. All right, another band. Change the order on this here because I forgot I put 2 albums on from this. This was actually my first greatest hits from The Who. Meaty, Beady, Big, and Bouncy. Yeah. And just that these guys were so damn intense. They were so intense in their day. It's a little bit beat up, but it still plays. And that's what got me, though, okay, was just the intensity. I mean, at that time frame, okay, in the mid-'60s, you already had Beatles, Stones, Kinks, okay, and I love all of those ones. But it seemed like to me that when The Who came on the scene, it's like, holy shit, okay? You had 4 excellent musicians bound together, and they fought, they did all kinds of things. But damn, did they put out some excellent music, in my opinion, anyway. I think their golden years, 67 to at least 72, 73, okay? I think once Quadrophenia got done, it does go down a little bit, but even Pete Townsend admitted he was tired and I don't want to say, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I read things about, having writer's block and a little bit of these creative juices were dried up a little. I mean, he still put on some really good stuff. I remember buying this brand new when I was 11. Yeah, yeah, the last album with these four. And yeah, you know, it may not be a great album, may not be a great album. And of course, everybody knows that Mr. Moon, not to be taken away, how weird that that ends up being. If anybody has seen, of course, the picture outtakes for the album cover, he is standing, but I guess one of the things was, and I don't know if it was him that said this or one of the members of the band or the photographer, they went off and they were like, well, you're a little paunchy, which he is in the video, in the pictures. So that's why they gave him the chair. Just how kind of prophetic, right? Some people have gone off and said that when Mooney died, that should have been the end of the Who. I mean, they did try though, didn't they? They really kind of did. Thank God they had the Kids Are All Right documentary that was done. And then the Who did a little mini reunion on one or two songs on the McVickers soundtrack for Roger. Um, I like Face Dances. Okay, I do. I think that album does not get enough love. Now, I know, of course, that they had, you know, that was like the first MTV exposure too. Okay, but I already liked the Who before then. But they would play, you know, those black and white videos of "You Better You Bet," "Don't Let Go of the Coat," "Another Tricky Day." A lot of damn good songs off there, and even John's, you know, "You" and "Quiet One." It's like, oh man, the whole damn album pretty much is good. It really, really is. And then to go from that to "It's Hard," which I'm sorry, I'm in that camp that I don't really like that one very much. I liked Athena. I thought Athena was a good single. Eminence Front is okay, but I can't hear that one that often. It gets old. But the rest of the album, to me, it's just to me it feels forced. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And I remember that when there was a story. I remember reading. I think it was Rolling Stone, or it could have been MTV for that matter at that time, that the band reconvened briefly in '83 after they did the final tour in '82. That supposedly they were actually looking into Todd Rundgren producing for whatever that next Who album would have been. How about that for a woulda, shoulda, coulda? That would have been kind of strange, I think, considering that Todd with Nas really not mimicked the Who, but had similar feels. I think it would have been interesting. That would have been an interesting way to go. And like I brought up in another video, the Who never did a '90s studio album. John dies, and now you're down to the two. So I don't know. Um, nothing would be complete without having at least one Monkees album to show, right? 1969 Instant Replay. All right. Instant Replay. This is one of those ones that does not get a lot of love. In fact, pretty much, you know, yeah, I know. I'm going to go off and I'm going to say, yeah, that those last couple after Head didn't really get a lot of love. And but this one here, they ended up having to dig through the vault, okay, with tracks going back to 1966. Here's the front, here's the back. Of course, this is an original original Cold Gems right there. And but the big one here, you know, to me anyway, I mean, you do have the older stuff like "Don't Listen to Linda," and "You and I" has got Neil Young on guitar. He shows up on it. Teardrop City was written in '66. Had that Last Train to Clarksville feel. That's right, Slider 1995. Give or take a few tracks, Instant Replay is basically more of the Monkey 2. Yeah. You're. You know what? I think, out of all honesty, you're correct. I would agree with that. Um, and yeah, it is still a good record. Um, excuse me. But yeah, this one and Monkeys Present. No, I don't have it. I just get a weird thing in the back of my throat a lot. I think I did something a couple of years ago, and I get this way now. All right. How about this? I was at a garage sale in Northwest Illinois. The box was really, really cool, full of hard rock and metal albums. And I went to the counter and I asked the lady, I said, how much? 50 cents a piece. Okay. And I brought a stack. And I commented to the lady, I said, I'd like to compliment whoever's collection this is in the box. I said, he listens to some really great stuff. And she goes off and tells me there was my son's collection, and he has passed. Groovy Lisa. Hello there, Groovy Lisa. Hello, Paul, just passing by. I completely understand, Lisa. This is something new that we are going to roll out Monday nights, hopefully 5 to 7 p. Central Standard Time, kids. That's what we're going to do. We've already gone an hour. I started a little early today, but I'm hoping to end up being on, if Mac is doing one or you're doing one, I'm hoping to make a guest appearance on one of your guys' tonight. That'd be nice. So this was one of the albums that I found for 50 cents. Uh-huh. Yep. And I'm telling you, not played, by the way. Doesn't it look like it was played at all? And I'm happy to have this. There's some other ones, and each broadcast, I'm going to pull just a pile of vinyl, and I'll show you stuff. Okay? No, I'm not lying, Groovy Lisa. I'm not lying, Lisa. I couldn't believe I found this. There's some other stuff. He had some Metallica 12-inch singles too, like Whiplash. He had an original press of Kill 'Em All without the credits, if I remember correctly. Without the credits on Megaforce is a first press or something like that. Yeah, it's a little beat up on the Kill 'Em All, but I still have it. So I'll be showing all kinds of things in these streams every week. But yeah, so $5.98. I just killed your baby today. Oh. Lisa, you're silly. Did you miss the monkeys I just showed? I did. I showed. So last vinyl bit that I got in the stack. This one I found at a book sale. And from what? Oh, really? Hold on a second. No, I didn't even look at this for a very long time. Okay. They must have went and did this at the end. All right. Doug Fields. One of my friends who was an original Knight of the Round Turntable, told me that this is the rarer cover. How about this? Hold me closer, Tony Danza. I'm kidding, kids. But I did not notice about the stereo label. Okay, this is a stereo press. But now, this being 1969, I think it's funny that they had to put this over there, which means there must have been monocopies at one point of a Sky, which I would really like to find. This is a gatefold, and it pretty much is lyric sleeves. All right. So, I mean, even back then, you had Elton, Caleb Quay. He was a good guitar player. Roger Pope on drums. Nigel Olsson on one cut, because if I remember correctly, Nigel Olsson, he at that time just left Uriah Heep. He is on drums on it. I want to say the first Uriah Heep album he shows up on. I love Uriah Heep. So that's it for the vinyl pile. I said pile. All right. You want some good laughs? Let's see if I can do this for a second here. So I have the Magic Photo album, and everybody's like, "Ah, hell no, he's got a photo album. Why has he got a photo album?" Well, it's because I've got pictures with musicians. Here's me with a member of Collective Soul. Well, she's not so little, but she was my daughter to my fiance at the time that I was gonna. But Collective Soul, I did get to see them. They played down here at the old amp. And at that time, God, the concert kicked ass. It really, really, really kicked ass. And they were commenting that this is off of our new album. And they played an excellent cover of Peter Gabriel's Digging in the Dirt. I was blown away. We had originally not so good seats, but I'm a sneaky, cheeky bastard sometimes. I really, really am. So she followed my lead. We read like second to the this was outdoors, by the way, this concert. Which, so we had second to the last row. So it was row Y, okay? So we went from Y to M to A. Nobody was looking. And we got around the steel barrier and we saw, because we waited on this, and this was like 2 or 3 songs into the concert. There was some empty seats in the center of the set, because there was a VIP section. I'm surprised security didn't nail my ass. But me and her, we landed at this table, and the table said General Mills, as in there's a sponsor of the amp. And there was another couple, So there was this couple, and then there was me and my fiance's daughter. So we were yapping away through the show. Not too much though, but between tunes, because I don't talk when there's concert being played. So just an awesome damn concert. And so beforehand, though, she was being slightly flirty to one of the security guards. Would you believe we ended up back there after the show was over with? We ended up back there, me and her. The security guard took us to the bus area. That's how we got those. I got everybody but Ed Roland. Ed Roland wasn't feeling well, although I got Ed's autograph on the CD at the time, the brand new one. With Elton showed up on it, that album, okay? Along with have signed their first album, not their first album, the second album, the blue album. It's a blue cover. All right, so how about this? In 2005, I worked backstage at my town festival. The year previous, I worked backstage for Eddie Money. Eddie Money was awesome. He was cool. And then the people that I knew invited us back to be security for Night Ranger. That's right. Here's me and Jack Blades. Yeah, everybody was nice in that band. It was 4/5 original. Alan Fitzgerald left the band again shortly before the tour that they did for this. And in his place was Michael Lardy from Great White. Okay. Here's a picture of me with Kelly Keagy and Jeff Watson. Yeah, I kind of look slightly clueless, don't I? They were all nice. Like I said, I got pics, I got vinyl signed. I brought some great white stuff. I didn't have a lot, but I got Michael to sign that, and they were totally awesome. um, the thing is, and I thought this was kind of neat at the time. I was able to talk to several of them before the show because they were having their meal break, and we were having sort of a meal break too. And I kind of carefully brought up to Michael. I said, I heard rumors. Is it true Great White is getting back together to help out with this post? This was post station nightclub incident, okay? And he went off and simply said at that time that yes, the rest of the band members were in meetings, and that probably after this Night Ranger tour, he said we probably he says it's 90% right now that they're probably all going to go back. So I knew something that very few people didn't know at that time, and I kept my mouth shut on it too. But that whole Night Ranger show was excellent. Here's some pictures once again, some Chicago area bands. Okay, here's me with Ray Graffia from New Colony 6. This would be about 2005, 2006, roughly. They constructed a tent really quick because the weather did not look really good. It was in September time. The rains in northern Illinois can get pretty dicey. And it was in the middle of a pumpkin patch. True story. If anybody knows Stoddy Dairy Farm over in Spring Grove, Illinois, they used to hold concerts every so often. You almost wouldn't even know there was a small stage. Yeah, you drive down the road, past some cornfields on this side. Surprise! It was an outdoor thing. You brought your lawn chairs, blah blah blah. New Colony 6 opened the show. They kicked ass. I got him to sign some albums and CDs and such. And then the uh, the the headliner, the Buckinghams, ladies and gentlemen. So I have a picture of me and Carl Gimmeries. There was just two original members in the Buckinghams, and I got them to. They were put on a really good show. They did, and by the way, because of the weather, there wasn't even 50 people. Now the weather cleared up, believe it or not, between New Colony and Buckingham set, and everything was done by like 5 o'clock at night. Here's a picture with me and Dennis Fortuna, the bass player for Buckingham's. Everybody was really, really nice. I'm just going by what I've got in this photo album. So here's a little story. It's a little more modern story, okay? So, Taste of Rockford. Taste of Rockford, Illinois would happen every year, okay? They would try to get one sort of namer to come, but mostly it was local and regional, and that's fine. And most of the time it was free, bucks, no big. So my kid got excited when I told her, hey, Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child was coming to play Taste of Rockford. And so, everybody was having, my daughter was really kind of excited about this. And so we went, and this was several months after the Destiny's Child reunion tour that they did for whatever new album that came out at that time. Okay, this was like 2005, 2006, roughly, for the sake of the story. And so I hurried up, went to Walmart, and found one of the few Destiny's Child CDs I could find, so that Brittany could have an autograph. And then 96.7 The Eagle was doling out T-shirts, if I remember correctly. This is why this story is the way it is. So after performing for thousands of people 4 months before at the Rosemont Horizon, to, I'm not kidding you, around again 50 people on a Sunday afternoon. It was beautiful. It was sunny, and we were front row. It was standing. We were there. We were enjoying it. I took some nice pictures of the show. And I went off and I told my daughter and son, I said, I'm not promising nothing, but let's see if Dad can try to go and make something interesting. So I bumped into this big burly security guard that happened to be milling around there. And I said, what's the chance that Miss Williams could come out and sign some autographs and, maybe take some pictures with the kids? For once, I'm not in this picture. And so the security guard said, don't move from this spot. So I didn't. 5 minutes later, roughly, he comes back and he's like, and it turned out that there was about 10 other people waiting. And one of these people was a male who happened to have all the Destiny's Child dolls, I guess. So he had the Michelle Williams doll. I didn't even know they put out Destiny Child dolls. So we were patient. We lined up. She came out of her little trailer, and that's right, Michelle Williams with my daughter Brittany and my son James. I thought that was kind of neat, nevertheless. She was very nice and cordial. I got to talk to her for, I don't know, about a minute or so. And, but so, yeah, so that's one of my more current stories on hand. All right. Who likes Southern rock? 70s Southern rock. I appreciate the two people looking in here right now. Who likes Southern rock? Who likes Marshall Tucker Band? I like, heard in a love song, can't be wrong. So this is another mid 2000s story. I went to 2006. Marshall Tucker Band were going to perform at a junior college in St. Charles, Illinois. They were putting on a benefit show for the Fraternity of the Order of Police local chapter there, okay? So when I found out Marshall Tucker was going to play, it's like $20 tickets. No opening act to my knowledge, if I remember right. They put on a nice, solid show. And of course, the only original member that was still there, that's right, they did a nice free meet and greet afterwards. It's me and Doug Gray. Doug Gray was a really cool dude, I'll tell you. I got to chat with him for a few minutes and found out, at least at that time anyway, that his favorite drink of choice was Crown whiskey. And I said, you know what, Mr. Gray, if you ever come out and about in this area, I said, I will buy a still sealed bottle of Crown and you and me will go share that bottle and take some shots. Never happened. I wish it did though. But I actually went and took a recording. Me and my friend Scott, we were in first row of there, and I had the whole show, minus the band introductions, taped for future posterity. I want to end up talking to the band and giving them a copy of this stuff so that maybe they'll put it out someday. Here's a little Beatle-related photo. You want a Beatle-related photo? I think this is kind of cool in a weird way. This one here, if I remember correctly, this is from 2004, summer of 04. I know. I tried thinking I was going to have a soul patch. That was a little hilarious. This here is a picture of myself with original Beatle manager Sam Leach. Yeah, I said original. There's bones of contention about who managed the Beatles before Brian Epstein came in. Sam Leach was one of them. He was a very nice man. We ended up chatting for actually a little while. I've got a picture somewhere of us backstage with some beautiful ladies, and I ended up buying Sam's book. He had a soft cover at the time, and eventually I'll show that. He signed that to me too, but he basically was in their world 60 to 62, if I remember correctly. All right, here. How about this? Anybody like Al Stewart? You know Al. The Year of the Cat. So, anywho, he ends up doing a concert at the Woodstock Opera House in Woodstock, Illinois. Wonderful building, nice acoustics for any show there. I saw probably about minimum a half a dozen shows there. But when I found out Al Stewart was going to show up, I said, my God. And I was pretty picky. I had to have within the first two rows. All right, that's how I was since 1999 when I saw Don McLean live. I was in front row, and he was by himself. And to hear him play American Pie and Vincent almost brought me to tears that night. It was that good. Al comes. He has a new album at that time. If I remember correctly, I think it was called Sea of Light, I think was the name of the album. And he ended up um, at the end of the show. He ended up going off and doing a meet and greet. And I ended up chitty chatting with his manager, who was very gregarious, very nice guy too. And I usually, when I'm going to go um, see anybody, and I usually bring no more than like 2 or 3 albums, okay? But this time I think I brought like 5 or 6, and it was really funny because I felt bad. I said, he's not going to get upset if I do this, right? And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. He goes, there was this one guy who came in with a stack this many. It was almost everything that he did on vinyl. So here's me and Al Stewart. I thought really nice. Like I said, Al was really, really nice guy. And that manager, he was telling stories from some of the album covers, like Modern Times. Modern Times, of course, Photoshop wasn't invented back in the mid 70s, but if you want to call it a 1970s Photoshop, that's exactly what that whole cover was. I thought that was kind of interesting to say the least. Let's see. How about this for amusing? We're going to shift it slightly. Here's me and my friend Scott with Ed McMahon. Oh, Ed McMahon. This is from 2007, April of 07. This is about a couple months before I moved down to Arkansas. The album that you're seeing in my friend Scott's hand, I had a copy too. Yeah, it was from 1974, if I remember correctly. The greatest bits of the Tonight Show, which just about almost crippled Casablanca. If Kiss didn't come, Kiss basically saved the label's ass. Seriously, because this was one of the few missteps, was that Tonight Show album. All right, and I had that, and believe it or not, he put out in the mid 60s on Cameo Parkway, if I remember correctly, Ed put out a solo album. Go check out his version of Georgie Girl. Go ahead, I dare ya. But Ed was really nice. Ed was a really nice guy. We got him just as he was coming out. He was doing it was a book, it was a reschedule, it was a book signing, but it was also a anniversary on the Tonight Show. He was showing blooper reels and Q&A and stuff like that. Styx fans? Any Styx fans out there? I love Styx. I think seriously, the first record that I bought brand new was either Equinox or Crystal Ball. That was one. It was one of the two. But I like Equinox over Crystal Ball. Oh, yes, Tim Allen. You've got the 45. I didn't even know there was a 45 on Ed McMahon. Oh, I wonder if he was drinking Bud while he was recording. I know that's bad. I'm sorry. So Styx, I've loved Styx for a very long time. Okay. Um, Part of their catalog that I have really gotten to appreciate a lot more since listening to on Sunday nights the Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark radio show out of Syracuse, New York. He will go and play a lot of the wooden nickel label discography. Okay, so you've got obviously Ladies on there, you've got Best Thing, you've got their version of Lies. I actually like. I like Knickerbocker's version much better, but Styx's version was pretty good too. Okay, so we won't knock that. Out of all honesty, though, okay, I love The Mission. The Mission was the last new album that they put out. Okay, I think it was a neat album, but yes, it was missing something, and I know some of you people are going to roll your eyes. Dennis, Dennis DeYoung. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Dennis DeYoung I have been told it can be a pain in the ass, but he also it can be nice too. You know, both opposing sides, control freak, some say. It's just okay. I got nothing against Lawrence Gowan. Okay, I really don't. But I miss Dennis with that band. Damn it! I don't understand why JY and Tommy are sort of hateful. I just wish they would bury the hatchet and not in each other's heads. So that's the primo to the story on this is this. They came to perform at a county fair in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. It was the Walworth County Fair, and the tour that they were on at the time was that covers album Big Bang, Big Bang. I was almost going to say Big Bang Theory, right? I love that show too. Bazinga. So, um, and the single off of that at the time was them doing "I Am the Walrus." So let me get some more coffee and I'll finish this story, okay? Because this one's okay. Bear with me. Don't run away. The coffee maker's right here. Okay, so Styx, Big Bang album. They put on a damn good show, and the first time I ever went to Elkhorn County Fair for a concert was Beach Boys in 2000, okay? But since then, I mean, I saw them. I saw Bobby Vinton. Roll your eyes. There was a reason why I went to see Bobby Vinton, and I'll share that sometime too. But Styx showed up, okay? And I was like, well, let's go. I know I always do research on who's in the lineup and all this other stuff. The problem was the member that I met, the only member that came out of the bus, because the story goes, no one wanted to come out, which I thought was kind of bullshit. And I'm like, why is nobody coming out from the bus? And the security was thinning the crowd, and there was only about 20 of us. Seriously, there was. It started out at about 50 people and then narrowed down to 20 because we knew the rule of thumb that if security's going off and saying they ain't coming out by 3 times, that's when the golden moment's going to show up. That's why I never left. I've rarely ever been disappointed in regards to waiting for a musician to show up. So who comes out of there? Yeah. Ricky Phillips, bass player Ricky Phillips, who, of course, took over mostly for Chuck Panazzo, but Chuck is still a member of the band. In fact, if I remember correctly, I could have sworn I saw Chuck was there that night and he played a couple songs too. So Ricky was nice. It's just the problem is I didn't have any Babies albums. I got him to sign the Styx CD that I bought of the Big Bang. So I have autographs of that. A really nice guy. And then literally 5 minutes after he dealt with us, bus goes off. I remember they had to go to Nebraska or Kansas or something like that. Oh, here. Here's the Bobby Vinton one, okay? Unfortunately, somebody was not a good photographer. So there you go. That's my only photographic evidence of Bobby Vinton. But he ended up signing his book, the CD that they were peddling at the time, and I found Melody of Love album because I guess I was trying to score brownie points for my, at that time, fiance's mother, who unfortunately has now passed. But I am led to believe that when my fiance at the time gave that album to her mother, she didn't see it at first. She thought it was just scribble. And she went off and turned. She goes, Mom, Paul got him to sign this for you. And it said to my favorite Polish princess, Bobby Vinton. And she cried. She cried when she got that album. I heard she teared up. So I thought that was really neat. Another one here. I talked about New Colony 6, okay? Me and Ronnie Rice. He was performing at a band shell in Antioch, Illinois. Antioch, Illinois, right near downtown. There's a nice band shell there. Shadows of Night ended up playing at that band shell at one point or another too. Ronnie was just awesome. He ended up signing, of course, the New Colony 6 albums I brought with me. He also has, or I think he still got it on his website, Refried Rice. That's the album that it's called, and it's all of his 45s and stuff. He's been around since like 1960, 61. All right, let's see here. What you say, Tim? I rarely ever get autographs. I found that if I just started a conversation, you can hang out with celebs for a long time. You know, you are right, Tim. You really are on that. I what I usually try to do is have the conversation first, and then I'll ask for the autographs if I feel comfortable. I've walked away a couple times without getting autographs because I did not want to ruin the mood. But most of the musicians pretty much complied, and they didn't give me dirty looks or Uggs or something like that, because I'm like, if you're like that, or I can sense it. I can sense it a little bit beforehand. So I'm like, talking is good enough for me sometimes. I will pace. Oh man, oh man. Let's see here. Oh, okay. You want to shift for a second? Let's shift for a second. I'm wearing my Svengoolie shirt. Yes, yes, yes. If my son was on here, he'd be probably slightly embarrassed, but maybe not. In the mid 2000s, Svengoolie, who Chicagoland's very own, and he just had his 69th birthday, by the way, this past week. I am so glad that he is still alive. I hung out with Susanna Hoffs for over an hour one night. Tim, I am jealous about that. I think Susanna Hoffs is a very beautiful woman. I remember, that's funny that you bring this up, though, Tim. I won tickets once. It was 97 ZOK. That's well, it was the top 40 station, still might be over in Rockford, but it was a private performance and party. I think Susanna put out a solo album at that time, and it was a smaller club just on the edge of Rockford. And I had the tickets and everything. And I want to say, I think a family emergency. I missed. I had several missed opportunities due to family emergencies. But you know what? I was married. I had my second wife and kids. I had to deal with a bunch of people. Susanna, I would have loved to have met. I heard she's a very nice person. All right, back to the story for Svengoolie. So Svengoolie, he's been around since 1979. Okay, I'm glad. I do like his corny shtick. I don't care. I really don't. I think the way that he does, it's family friendly. Okay, it's one of those few horror movie channels that you don't have to worry. And even if there is something that could be a little slightly frightening, he goes off and mentions in advance. Okay, and I like that. I really, really do. So in McHenry, Illinois, which is where I went to high school, he ended up doing an appearance for a comic book shop, unfortunately, that no longer exists, called Alan Ant's Comics. The line back then, it really was about 50 people long, and it snaked in the comic book shop. And previous other people that were there, McFoley was there, Jerry the King Lawler. Yeah, I'm bringing up wrestling people. George the Animal Steel. They all showed up at one point or another to do autograph sessions. So here's me, and I'm the one that kind of helped construct the shot. For some reason, I said, hey, I'd like you to pretend to hit me with the rubber chicken while I'm holding the skull. Now, I know John got almost, unintentionally blocked out of here, which I would have felt bad. But Sven was really, really nice. And I have loved him all these years. Yeah, yes, I really, really do. And, I know most of you people out there probably know who Svengoolie is. Go check out, just type it in YouTube. Go type in the original Svengoolie too, Jerry G. Bishop. He was really, really cool. And of course, I'm gonna go off and leave you with one monkey's story. Yeah, you know, yeah, we're about past the hour and a half mark, and I appreciate you people coming in and out. Uh, I appreciate you guys coming in and out. So the last story of the day. Me and Davy Jones, 2005. He comes to perform at the Rouse Center in downtown Crystal Lake, Illinois. A solo show, of course. And God, what a show. Uh, my friend Kathy Emmer and I went. Okay. Huge. We're both huge Monkees fans. Okay. Huge. And I saw Davey back about 1987, 88 for his You Made a Monkey Out of Me, or They Made a Monkey Out of Me book. Okay. So I met him that time. And then in 2005, he came and did this. I hurried up and bought those damn tickets. We had good seats. I want to say we were in the 10th row roughly. Okay. So he came out into the audience. He was really, really good. I researched the band at the time to discover that Mark Clark was playing bass at that time. Yeah, because Mark played on some of the Monkees tours. And of course, he also was a member at one point of Uriah Heep and Coliseum and Rainbow and a few other ones. But I didn't have anything at the time. I brought my Monkees albums, hopefully to get signed. This meet and greet was almost last minute. They almost weren't going to do this, but there was about 20 of us that kind of beefed because, yeah, they did a sound check for some people that supposedly paid money to get the sound check. And we're like, in a way, we thought that wasn't quite fair. Like, wait a second, isn't he going to come out after? Well, they ended up talking to him and the manager, and then lo and behold, we got to see. Oh God, I love it. I do. He was such a nice man. He really, really was. And he stayed, I want to say, for a good hour, hour and a half. So here's what I have to tell you about this pick. I know I'm holding this up for a while. I got to make Davey laugh. I did. I got to make him laugh, and I got him to say, oh God. So I brought the copy of Monkey's Head, the soundtrack, okay? And I brought it and he signed it. And I told Davey, I said, hey, I've seen this movie a couple times now. He goes, and I kind of get it. And I wasn't even stoned when I watched it. True story, too. And Davey goes, you must be joking, like he did in the TV show. And I'm like, I almost lost it because I'm like, oh my God, that was funny. What made him laugh, though, was when I did find out that I did have an album with Mark Clark. Mark Clark was the bassist in the 1975-76 band Natural Gas, which was kind of a super group with Joey Milan from Badfinger and Mark Clark and Jerry Shirley from Humble Pie. It's actually a really kind of neat album. Go look it up on YouTube or try to find one. It's on Private Stock, was the record label at that time. And I had a copy of one. I found it at my library book sale. That's right, for 50 cents. And there's a story behind that whole album I'm not going to bore you with, but look it up if you're bored. And so I brought that along and I said, hey, Davey, I said, by chance, do you know where Mark is? And he goes, oh, Clarky. He goes, I think Clarky's over there. And I said, because Mark was bald at the time, I said, you want to have a good laugh? And so I showed him the gatefold of the album. Oh, nice for you, Tim. Nice for you. I don't have a sealed. I do have a promo, though. I do have a promo along with the copy that I'm going to talk about here in a second. So I opened up the gatefold and I showed the picture of Mark Clark, and he starts laughing and he goes, Clarky, come here. He goes, you go there. You go there in this picture. He starts laughing his ass off. Davey does. And Mark comes over and I said, Mr. Clark, I said, would you sign this for me? And he saw the album and he couldn't believe it. He goes, where the hell did you find this? I said, well, you want me to tell you the truth or you want me to lie to you? And he goes, well, the truth always helps. He goes, and I said, 50 cents library book sale. And he kind of cracked up and said, you paid 49 cents too much, and signs the album. And that was how I got Davey to laugh. See? So, and then I also bought his album, not his album, his book, Daydream Believer. He ended up having it's like a nice coffee table book. And I got him to, someday I'll show that for signings and stuff like that. But I don't know, guys. I hope, I appreciate everybody that stuck around to watch this. It's going to be, like I said, about an hour and a half to 2 hour streams. I may shift the time slightly, but I'd like to do these on Monday nights because Sunday seems to be pretty busy for a lot of people, and I understand that too. So I'd like to thank, of course, let's see here. Of course, Tim Allen, I know you're here. So you were here. Groovy Lisa was here. Slider 1995. Ralstonian Report. Matthew Turnage. And let's see who else here. Nathan Bouchard. All of you people that watched and had commented, and all the other viewers out here. I just want to say, hopefully, guys, you guys have a good rest of the week. And until next Monday, this has been a meeting of the Knights of the Round Turntable, where all here are unstable. And hopefully maybe next time we can have a guest or two in the show here. That would be kind of nice. I'd like to be able to have people on screen and chat. But I know other people are in other streams or they're just busy outright. You know what, Tim? Thank you very much. You have a great night, too. I'll be on other people's streams probably later. But you know what? Like I said, thank you very much. And this was fun. It really, really was. Take care. God bless. Rock on.